Alright, this is my driver's ed project video, and today I'm going to be going under the hood of a car, and we're going to check for all the fluids and the oil, make sure everything is all set. So, first thing you want to do is you're going to go in your car, and somewhere probably below the steering wheel is going to be a little latch with the insignia of a car with a hood popped. Now you can't really see that, but you're going to tug on that till you hear a click. And what that's going to do is that's going to open up your hood, because your hood is always clamped down unless you pull that lever. Now, a couple tips for when you are going under the hood. You're going to want to make sure that you're in park, you're on a level surface, and you don't want to check your coolant nor your oil if the car has been running recently, because it could very easily still be very hot, and the coolant could spray off scalding water when you go to check it. So you're always going to want to make sure that the engine has been resting for at least an hour before you do this. Now, as you can see, the hood of the car is slightly ajar, but if you try to tug it open, it's not going to come. And that's because right in here under the hood is a little latch, and it's in a different spot on every car, so you just kind of have to stick your hand and feel around, and you'll feel it. And on this particular car, you have to push it to the side, and then the car's hood will come up. Now, another very important piece for checking under the hood is this right here, because this is going to keep the hood from slamming back down on you. So what you're going to do is you're going to pull it out of where it is, and right there, you're going to fit it into the car. And now the hood is going to remain open while you do it. So the first thing we're going to check is your wiper fluid. Now, your wiper fluid is right here in this car. It's pretty clear. It has the windshield with spraying image right there. So you're just going to pop that off, and it's going to be in a clear tank. So you're going to be able to look down, see into it. And if you're running low, first off, nothing's going to come out for your wipers when you hit spray. That's a telltale sign, but you should usually check these fluids periodically. Your car owner manual is going to have information as to when it would be best to check these, but that is the very minimum in order to keep the warranty. So you're really going to want to do a little bit more than that, because that's how you're going to best keep your car in repair. Another key to this is once you've checked something, like the wiper fluid, you're going to want to make push down until you hear a click. And that means it's fully closed. And if you leave it open, there's the chance you hit a bump, stuff sloshes out, and now you've got it in the engine. And that's not good, because this is going to get very hot while you are driving. Another tip for pouring in fluids into things like this, and your brake fluid back here, it's very important that you use a funnel, because again, if you don't, you could have liquids potentially all in the engine, and when that gets warm, it's not going to be good for the car or you as the driver. So next we're going to check is the engine oil, which is right in here, you can see. And usually across from it or right near it, you're going to find one of these, which is a dipstick. And you're just going to tug that out. And what this does is it checks your level of oil. So what we're going to do is check that right now. You're going to want to unscrew your oil cap. Once you've got it off, make sure you get it up and out of the car, because you don't want it falling back in there, because you are never going to get it. So you're going to take your dipstick and just push it in, down in there. See, you want it to go as far down as you possibly can. And then when you take it out, you're going to be able to see right on there your oil level, where it's at. And it has a measurement right on there, see, to show you where it's good. So this car, it is up to where it needs to be. Does not need any more oil in it. And let me just reiterate again, you do not want to check your oil after you've just had the engine on or the car running, because again, that's going to be extremely warm and very dangerous. So sometimes you'll see people try and pull over the side of the road and check under the hood. That is not what you want to do, because that is very dangerous. So when screwing this cap back on, get it nice and tight, because again, you're not going to want those liquids splashing around under the hood of the car. Another quick thing, this right here is the battery. So that's just a good thing to know where it is, not necessarily a fluid. Back here, you're going to see this right here is the brake fluid. And it, again, comes right off. You can tell where it is because it's also housed in a clear canister in a plastic. That's very important that's what allows your car to stop as quickly as it does. And if you don't have enough of that, that is very dangerous, because you're potentially risking not being able to brake while in the car. So again, we're going to put this back on, and you really want to make sure it's on tight, because you could have things sloshing around. You could have all sorts of problems if you don't make sure this is on tight. Tug on it a little bit. Once you know that it's good and set, you're good. Our final thing, this is our coolant, and you can see it says danger warning, never open when hot, because quite literally it is going to spray scalding hot water out from here up into your face, because you're going to be standing over it opening it, and that A is going to hurt, and B, it's not going to be good for the car either. So we're going to open it right here. And you can see right there, some of it's in the lid even. It's usually going to be a blue liquid. And what this does, coolant right in there, we're all good on coolant levels. What the coolant does is it keeps the engine from overheating or getting too warm to the point where it can't run. And in the event that the engine does overheat, and it's going to stall up on itself, and it's not going to be a good experience behind the wheel. So you want to make sure you check your owner's manual for when these need to be checked. And as I said before, do it a little bit more frequently. See, we got that back on. Do it more frequently than they suggest, because that is the bare minimum that they will allow you to keep the warranty. And you don't want to be doing anything the bare minimum. So now we're going to come over here, get this out, and when we put it back, you want to make sure it clicks right back in there, because you don't want anything bouncing around down in the engine. So then we're just going to shut the hood, and that is how you check the fluids in your engine. Thanks.